man in the mirror wasn't me. My face, my clothes, my room, everything matched. But when I raised my hand, he didn't move, and then he smiled. That's when I realized whatever I was staring into wasn't just a reflection. The worst part, that mirror still exists. Someone else owns it now. What you're about to hear is everything known about this object. Every record, every witness, every disappearance over a century. The mirror had been sitting quietly in my apartment for months. Just a simple antique. Walnut frame, slightly warped glass. The kind you'd pass by without a second thought. But that night, it decided to show me something I wasn't ready for. At first, I thought it was fatigue. Maybe my eyes were playing tricks. But as I leaned closer, the background behind my reflection, it wasn't the same. The table in the reflection was bare, while mine was covered in papers. The light was colder, like it came from somewhere far away. I blinked. The two rooms synced again. For a while, I convinced myself it was nothing, until it happened again. This time, my reflection didn't move at all. I stepped closer, my breath fogging the glass. Every instinct told me to look away, but I couldn't. I watched myself. Watch me. Then it smiled. A slow, uneven smile that didn't belong to me. The next morning, I covered the mirror with a blanket. At night, I could hear faint tapping, like fingers brushing the inside of the glass. 3 taps, then silence. I told myself it was the house settling, pipes maybe, but it didn't stop. One evening, I came home from work. The blanket had fallen. The mirror was uncovered. And this time, I wasn't the one standing in front of it. Someone else was. Someone who looked exactly like me. Same height, same clothes, same expression. Frozen mid-step, staring out. I whispered my own name. The reflection tilted its head. That's when I knew this wasn't a trick of the light. This wasn't a coincidence. This wasn't my reflection anymore. Whatever was inside that mirror was learning, watching, waiting. To understand where it all began, we go back more than 100 years. The earliest record appears in 1922, in Gravesend, New York, a quiet town built on lumber and iron. On the outskirts stood the Rothschild estate, a mansion left vacant after a fire claimed its owners. Everything was sold: furniture, silverware, portraits, rugs, scattered across the country. Among the auction items was one described simply as mirror, Venetian style, black walnut frame, excellent condition. It was purchased by Lewis Carrington, a quiet man in his 40s, obsessed with antique glasswork. He ran a small shop restoring mirrors and cabinets for wealthy clients. $35 for an 8-foot-tall ornate mirror. Within a week, the mirror stood in Carrington's shop. Workers said it dominated the room. Heavy, cold, unnervingly clear. One afternoon, his apprentice, Tom Weller, noticed something impossible. The tools in the reflection weren't where they actually were. A hammer hung left, but the reflection showed it on the right. The clock displayed a time that hadn't happened yet. Lewis asked quietly, "Tom, when you look into it, do you ever feel like something's looking back?" Louis began staying late, working past midnight. Notes in his journal changed from restoration tips to strange observations. The reflection is delayed. It learns through imitation. The glass hums when I'm near. Final entry, October 28th, 1922. The man in the mirror is no longer copying me. 3 days later, Louis vanished. His shop remained intact. Only the mirror was missing. Months later, a farmer found it leaning against a tree, splintered on one side. Authorities took it, but it disappeared again. In 1938, the mirror appeared in Margaret House's home, a widowed schoolteacher in Vermont. She placed it at the end of her upstairs hallway. At first, it seemed ordinary, but soon her reflection lagged a fraction of a second behind her movements. By autumn, she became withdrawn. Neighbors reported her standing in front of the mirror for nearly an hour late at night. Her final letter, October 4th, 1939. I am waiting to see if it will blink. It smiled first. 2 days later, she was found dead near the mirror. Officially ruled a fall, but the surface was described as distorted beyond optical reason. The mirror vanished again. In 1967, it appeared in the Marlowe Theater basement, Chicago. Shadows shifted unnaturally. Photographs captured a figure in the reflection, though no one was present. Within a week, it disappeared. In 2015, the mirror appeared in the estate of Charles Halden, Madison. Purchased by Elaine Morris, it caused subtle anomalies. Tools moved, dust patterns shifted, and one night, her reflection raised its hand first. In 2018, a fire destroyed her workshop, except the mirror. Photos showed the room intact, as if the fire never occurred. In 2021, a warehouse in Iowa recorded flickering lights and low humming sounds near a covered object, presumably the mirror. Its location is unknown. Across all sightings, one constant remains. The mirror never behaves like ordinary glass. It observes, it responds. Sometimes, it smiles. After more than a century, the mirror is a mystery. Physicists cannot explain it. Folklorists warn of mirrors as windows, not reflections. History shows a pattern: appearance, anomalies, disappearance. Eyewitnesses describe hesitation, lag, mimicry, and the smile. Some theorize the mirror reflects possibilities, versions of reality, events, and people. If true, it may not just reflect, it may influence. And the question remains, what if the reflection isn't just watching? What if it can reach through? The mirror has never been fully understood. Maybe that's exactly how it wants it. That is the story of the mirror that reflected a world no human should see. A century of sightings, anomalies, and unanswered questions. If this story made you reconsider the reflections around you, subscribe and turn on notifications. In the next video, we'll explore another artifact with a history equally mysterious. Until then, keep your eyes open and your reflections closer